Hello everyone. Thank you for joining me for today's Dream Talk. As I said in the previous show last week that I was going to do today's show about a dream I had with my artwork in it. Okay, so before I show you my artwork, I want to tell you about the dream. In the beginning of the dream, my husband, my son, and I were on a road trip, it appeared. We were in a car, my husband was driving. We stopped off at this little, I guess you would call it, not really a museum, but kind of like a store, like a like a convenience store / museum type of thing. And it felt like we were in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The funny thing about that is I've never been to New Mexico, so I wouldn't know what it feels like, or only know what it looks like just from watching documentaries and things like that and seeing photographs, online. So, but anyway, it felt like New Mexico for some reason. So we stopped off at that place. We went inside, and my husband and my son went off somewhere else. I went straight directly to the counter where there was this big bowl, and inside the bowl was a bunch of mushrooms in there. And okay, I'm no stranger to culinary mushrooms. Oyster mushrooms, portobello mushrooms, button mushrooms, bring them on. I've eaten them before. They're not psychedelic, obviously. So, but anyway, in this big bowl there was a bunch of mushrooms, but they weren't like the typical mushrooms that you would find in a grocery store or a health food store or whatever. So I looked at the guy. There was a guy standing behind the desk or behind the counter, and he said, would you like to have one? And I'm like, I don't know, I've never tried it before. And he told me it was psilocybin mushroom. And I'm like, I'm not sure if I should try this. He said, oh, just fine, So I grabbed one out of the bowl, and I went to go look for my son. My son was reading this huge, ginormous book. I don't know what that was about. But anyway, and then we all left together out of that store, and it was just kind of weird because I started eating the mushroom, and then it felt like time started slowing down. We were in slow motion, and then I told my husband, there were mushrooms up there, psychedelic mushrooms, and I took one and I ate one, and he's like, oh no. And I'm like, great, why did you say that? And so within the dream, I was feeling really paranoid because I didn't know what to expect from the substance that I'd taken in the dream. So we get back home, and I get inside, and I'm just kind of like lucid, very lucid. I walk down our hallway. In our hallway, I have in the waking world, in my hallway, I have a drawing that I did, a pen drawing that I'm going to show you in a minute. That's always hanging up there. It's been hanging up there for years. So anyway, I walk down the hallway and I look at that drawing, and the drawing starts to move, and it's just like really like you can see it's like wind swaying, leaves moving and stuff, and it's looking at me, like trying to look at me from every angle. And I was like, whoa, this is too much. It was really cool though. It was really interesting to be able to interact with my own artwork, because I always, like I've said in previous videos, when I create my art, it's intuitive, it's not planned out. So when I finish a piece of artwork and I see this face or person staring back at me, I'm always kind of curious as to who this is. So yeah, that was really something else when it just popped out and at me and just like looking at me like, yeah, this is me, this is who I am. And I'm like thinking like, whoa, I'm fascinated by this but scared at the same time. So I quickly leave the hallway and then go and lay on the couch, and I'm just I'm kind of like feeling like I'm living in like both worlds, like spiritual world and the waking world and the dream world, like all these worlds at once. and I felt like my world was spinning, and that's why I laid down on the couch, and that just really tripped me out. Then my husband came and sat beside me and tried to say, oh, it's going to be okay, just alright, it's okay. It's okay, just have something to drink or something. So that was the end of the dream. And I'll show you the drawing. This is the drawing. Yeah. So this face came to life in my dream. It was like, it wasn't looking to the side like it is in the dream. It was looking directly at me. And then the leaves in there were blowing. You know, it was so activated and alive. And it felt real. Yeah, I mean, that's the closest I have to a psilocybin experience was through the dream world. You know, there was a time where I was very, very fascinated about trying it. I read some books by by Terence McKenna, and his experience was very unique, and as is anybody's experience going to be. But yeah, I mean, if I, you know, in the right situation, nature and everything like that, I think it would be okay. But it's not like I'm in a big hurry to try it. But yeah, that was very fascinating, that dream, because my drawing came to life. It did. It literally, this drawing literally came to life. Those eyes looked back at me like it was trying to talk to me. And I was just like so amazed by that. Because I've never posted this for sale on my shop. I've had an idea to sell it, but there's something about it that I can't sell it. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. So anyway, yeah. I mean, have you guys ever had a dream? If you like to create things like art, or I mean, have you ever had one of your art pieces come to life in your dream? I mean, before this dream, I have to admit that I did have another dream where one of my art pieces came to life, but that was like back in 2000. I didn't write the dream down, and it's very fuzzy. It was a huger piece that came to life. So, yeah, it's fascinating. What did I learn from this? How did I feel from it? Initially, when I woke up from the dream, I felt confused. And then at the same time, I felt like my art is trying to give me a message, or trying to remind me of something. And that, I don't know, when I took that mushroom substance, that mushroom from that store, it was weird. It was really light. It's almost like I didn't really taste it. Strange thing about it. Yeah, literally seemed like time stopped. So, I know why I had this dream, because I'd been thinking about psilocybin mushrooms, and I'd been wondering about them and what they were about. And I bought a few books about it and read it, you know, over and over again. And some people have very extraordinary experiences when they partake in this psychedelic substance. You know, I remember reading in Terence McKenna's book, which one is it? Is it Food of the Gods? Or I can't remember the exact name of it, but I'll show you guys another time, maybe next week. But anyway, in one of the books I was reading by Terence McKenna, he talked about his psilocybin experience, and about how he took a specific dosage, so that, and I mean, is strong enough, and he was able to commune with beings from other planets, get messages like from the earth and Mother Nature, and things like that. A lot of people frown upon doing this type of thing, and saying that you only can get spiritual wisdom through a pure body, you know, and a pure heart. I think that these plants were created for us to use and utilize if we want to. You can choose not to use them if it's easier for you to, slip into a meditative state and have like profound insights. But I think people should be offered the choice of whether or not they want to use this plant matter in order to, find out more about who they are and their place in the world. I mean, I'm speaking not on personal experience of taking psilocybin in the waking world, just in the dream world is when I took it. And that was the understanding I got from it. It's like people just want to learn more about who they really are and what's going on in the world and what are they doing here. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You're not hurting anybody. You're not hurting yourself. You're trying to discover more of who you are. And I think that's why a lot of these psychedelic substances are illegal, because they don't, I just feel like there's a strong hold on this planet where people are being forced to be submissive and not allowed to really explore everything about themselves. So they just feel like they don't know who they are. So anyway, this dream was really profound for me. I really, really learned a lot about it. It's almost like the universe was listening to me when I was thinking, yeah, I might want to try taking some psilocybin mushrooms. And I talked to a friend of mine, and he said he could probably find a way to get some. And I was just kind of like, it's not like an emergency thing, If it all lines up just right, then that's fine. But other than that, and I think that's why I had the dream. It's like the dream is telling me, look, this is probably what's going to happen when you partake of the substance. If you ever do, this is the experience you're going to have. So dreams are fantastic. Wouldn't you guys agree? Dreams are fantastic. I mean, they listen. It's like your subconscious mind is taking in all the things you're saying and doing throughout the day. It's just taking a tally of it, and then it latches on to like a few things that I think this is how it works. It latches on to a few things that you see and you experience during the day and puts it into the dream world for you, your subconscious. Now, I've told you in one of my other Dream Talk shows, I have tried this several times where when I lay down